Hey, Philip. G'day, trade. Where are we going here? There we go. There's the chat. We're going to start at 12:30. Good afternoon. Pretty small attendance list today, so we'll be a little bit cash. So if you guys have any specific questions that you guys want answered throughout, by all means, just shoot a chat there. Focus this session is on a couple of fairly simple but pretty substantially important features that we've made some enhancements to, and a couple of really exciting ones to come over the next month or two that I think everybody will be pretty keen on. Just as can you guys see this slideshow up there on the screen? Is that what you got on your screen? The April updates. Sick. Also going to take a run at I got a couple of videos so I don't have to walk through it live, pre-recorded, so that it's a little bit more high quality, but I don't know how well they work on the webinar platform, so hopefully it all goes well, but if it doesn't, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But yeah, all right, we'll get started in a minute. Hello to whoever that was that just joined. We got Dan and Lorne. Nice. As always, we'll wait for a minute or so after 12:30 because everybody seems to sort of come in around about then. All right, see you in a minute. Alrighty, let's get started. So as I mentioned before to the people who were here a little bit earlier, we've got a couple of enhancements to a couple of our key features. I got a couple of video walkthroughs of both of those to make it super easy for everyone to get their heads around what they permit. And why we've gone ahead and made those changes, plus a couple of new features that are about to be launched that we just want to sort of see if you guys are interested in. So let's get things started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our monthly partner webinar for April. You'll be happy to know that we have had some excellent results so far this April. Pinch is going amazing. We've got a lot of new merchants, not just through partners, but through our own efforts as well. And thanks so much for all of your support. So to begin, what we're going to be going through today. So our invoice breakdown functionality has had a fairly significant modification to it. Oh, hey, DK. That should make it a lot easier to use. We've added some more customization to the emails that Pinch sends to give you more ability to communicate with your customers at key moments. We've made some fixes to the way that the partner account referral functionality operates to make it easier for you guys. And we've also got, as I mentioned, a couple of new features to talk about. The first one, the invoice breakdown. So Up until now, to set up the invoice breakdown templates, you were required to either use a whole figure or a percentage. But now we've made it easy for you to just set the amount of payments that you want to collect on that invoice. So you've got an invoice and you want your customers to be able to pay it off in 4 payments, 5 payments, 6 payments, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, whatever. You can now set them up that way. Saves you having to do calculations and things like that. It makes a lot of sense, works really well. I'm going to play a video to walk you through how it looks so that you guys can get it crystallized for you. So let me see if I can get that working for you right here, right now. Hi there. I'm here to show you a minor but very important enhancement to the invoice breakdown payment plan. So, as most of you know, to access your plans and subscriptions, you navigate into plans and subscriptions, which will take you to this page right here. You can set up payment plans to break down invoices. You can set up subscription plans to create a series of payments and also invoices in your connected accounting system. We're going to talk about the invoice breakdown briefly. Now, up until now with the invoice breakdown payment plan, which you can see select here, in order to set it up as a repeatable template or even a one-off template, the only recurring options were to either choose a percentage, so working out how much of a percentage the amount has to be to make the total number of payments. So, to make 4 payments, you'd have to set it up as 25% and so on and so forth. Now, we had feedback from customers that, there were a lot of customers that were doing numbers that kind of didn't make it easy to work out the percentage, didn't make it so that the invoices were all of the same amount, there being like quite a significant difference on the last invoice versus the rest of them in the series. So we've just gone ahead and made it super easy for you to just set the number of payments as well. And so what that means is that if you want to set a 4 payment breakdown or a 7 payment breakdown or a 19 payment breakdown across any schedule of recurring frequency that you want, you don't have to work out what the percentage is. You don't have to set the amount, so you don't have to calculate what the amount is. You can just set the number. So let's say you wanted to set up like a 7 weekly payments payment plan. You just literally type that and you're done. You got a 7 weekly payments payment plan. It's like that easy. Now, actually, sorry, my bad. You, in that case, still need to recur it every 7 days. So there we go. That's better. So it's that easy. So to then use that payment plan, there's a couple of options available to you. Either you can set it on an invoice theme. So you can pick from any invoice theme that you've got set up in Xero. If you're a MyOld or QuickBooks user, it would just appear on every invoice that you send if you give it an option. And then when they click on the Pay Now from your invoice that you send to them, they'll be able to choose the payment plan or pay it in full. So a good example would be, if you are doing like a classes per term or something like that, you send your invoice out at the start of the term, and a lot of your customers are coming back and saying, hey, we want to be able to offer payment plans on these. Too many people ask us for payment plans. What's the easy way? This is the easy way. You just turn it on the invoice theme. And then that way, when you send the invoice out, they can choose the payment plan or they can choose to, pay it off in full. We've got schools using it that way, basketball comps, music tutors that do term-based stuff. Really, really, really effective. And the other way is the same way that we've always shown you, which everyone should know, but it's all good if you don't. You basically just go find the invoice that you want to put that on, and then you just press choose payment plan and pick the payment plan there and hit create payment plan. What that does is invites the customer via email to opt into the payment plan to pay off that invoice. If you do press create payment plan, there is a way for you to then go in and fill it out on their behalf if you're dealing with a customer who doesn't have an email address or whatever the case may be. So that's it. Pretty simple change that makes it a lot easier to offer customers invoice breakdowns. Bye. Alrighty, so that was the invoice breakdown modification. If you have any questions, shoot them through in the chat. DK is the man who made it. He's in the chat. Yeah, he'll be able to field any questions you have. Moving on. So the next one is email customization features. So email customization up until now has been quite limited. You have been able to edit the content of the pre-approval email that gets sent from the Pinch portal and the pre-approval confirmation email that gets sent from the Pinch portal. Now you can also edit your dishonor emails, your customer portal and invoice issued emails. And unsurprisingly, I've got a video for that too. So let's watch that one. It's me again, Joe here from Pinch, just to show you through some of our new email features. So up until now, to customize emails that Pinch sends, you had the ability to customize your pre-approval request email and the confirmation email that gets sent when somebody signs up to the pre-approval. We have added a whole bunch of new options, and for good reason, and I'll go through them one by one. This first one here is a dishonored payment notification. So if a payment fails for reasons that we don't consider to be fatal, i.e. there's a chance that it might work again in the future, the card's not invalid, the bank account's not invalid, it's just insufficient funds or just the wrong CVV or something like that. Actually, CVV might be fatal. Anyway, I digress. What will happen is it'll send an email with this information by default. We're now giving the ability to add extra messaging there. The reason for that is because let's say you want to make sure that the customer knows what steps that they need to take, knows what your policies are around like how long you're going to let them wait before you discontinue service or before you escalate it further. You can just stick it in there. You can even like put in messages in there that are like, to help you become compliant with your with whatever legislation there is in your particular industry or stuff like that. Same with the fatal dishonor notification that you can see there. So that fatal dishonor notification there is basically what happens if the account is not going to work. We canceled the pre-approval. That's basically like the difference between the two. In the first case, it's like the account declined, make sure you have money in there. We're going to try again in 3 days, try again in 7 days, automatically make sure the funds are in there. Otherwise, or else. Whereas with the other one, it's like the account canceled and the pre-approval was canceled because the dishonor was fatal. You're not going to need to re-sign up to the pre-approval. Get in touch with us to do that or whatever it is that you want to put in there. But those are the sort of use cases for being able to add extra notifications, extra content to those notifications. The other two are a little bit more standard. It's customer portal invitations. So you can now customize the invitation to the customer portal. So if you've got, your own sort of bespoke rules around the customer portal, like, you've got the surcharge not on for people who choose pre-approval, for instance, you can mention that in the customer portal invitation when you send it out. We're now using Pinch to process payments. This is an amazing customer portal for you to use. With it, you can set up your own payment methods, opt into auto payment agreements, see and pay all of your outstanding and upcoming invoices, schedule payments, and also see all of your past invoicing history. By the way, if you opt into auto payments, we'll pay the fee, not you. Like, that's sort of a simple message to include at that point because it kind of helps with the whole process of getting people onto pre-approval. The other one there is invoice issued. So that's at the moment, that a lot of people don't use that feature, but it basically is one where when we detect an invoice that gets created in the accounting system, whether that's through scheduling software, job management software or whatever, or just, bulk importing them into MyOb or Xero or QuickBooks, we can fire out an email to that customer to alert them that the invoice is now payable to save you having to do it. You can now customize that email too. That's, let's say, you wanted to mention on that email what your standard payment terms are. Maybe you've got Paid Nice set up and you've got some rules around on-time discounts or rules around late payment penalties, things like that. And you want to mention that in that email. Hey, this invoice is now payable. If you pay it today, you get that on-time discount of 10%. And that decreases every day. And if it's late, you'll have a 5% penalty. So make sure you click this button right now, like that sort of stuff. I can't overstate how important it is to actually really work on the messaging around your payments. The fact that we're now giving you the ability to customize the majority of these communications should be something everybody takes advantage of. So peace out. Let me know if you have any thoughts, and I hope you enjoy being able to customize some more of these comms. Okay, that's the videos. I'm glad to see they worked. So I've still got a couple more things to show you. No videos, so it'll just be me chatting. Let me go back to sharing my screen here briefly. One sec. Alrighty, yeah. So briefly going to bring up the account creation for partners. So as a partner in your Pinch merchant portal, for most of you, if you're confused by this, it's probably for good reason, but the rest of you should understand. In your referred clients list in your Pinch merchant portal, there's actually a button that will allow you to create accounts. And up until now, I've kind of not been really mentioning it much to the partners because it's been a little bit buggy, but DK's done us the courtesy of making some pretty significant fixes to it. So how it works basically now is you can just go in there and quickly create the account. You don't need to connect the accounting integration while you do it. And it doesn't allow you to, as soon as you create it, just click straight through and start actually acting inside of the account. So it works perfectly well now. And it means that, you don't have to go through the normal process of creating an account. You just go into that form, just fill in the details, hit create account. They get added to your partner account. You don't have to tell me, I don't have to do anything to associate it together. You get access straight away. One thing to note, you do need to use an email address that's different to your own when you set that up. So if you're setting it up on behalf of a customer, for instance, you need to use either their email address or another email address of yours. There is a little hack to it. You can just add a plus with a Pinch or plus number or something like that to the end of your own email address. And then it'll actually send the emails to you. So, if you don't want your customers to get the onboarding emails because, that you're going to upload them yourself in time and you're going to go get it from them, you might not want to use their email address because you might want to prevent them getting confused by getting all of the onboarding emails telling them to upload it. That's a workaround for that. But yeah, so once you create the account, you can just go into the integrations tab and connect the accounting system that way. So it's probably now the best way to do it for partners who are setting up their own customer accounts. However, if you are somebody who just likes to flick them over to me and have us do it, keep doing that. That's totally cool. All right. Now the next few awesome things that are coming. Now there's no doubt going to be other smaller changes that we'll mention as we go, but these are probably the two major feature enhancements that are coming. Now, gross billing and trust accounting support. So if this doesn't mean anything to you, then it probably doesn't apply to you. However, maybe it does as a referrer. There's plenty of businesses out there operating in a trust accounting way where they're sort of taking payments from customers and they can't really use the same account to process the transaction fees from. Lawyers that are sort of holding money in trust, especially being one, property management companies and another, real estate agencies that are taking payment for marketing and things like that. What they need is the ability to be able to have the Pinch fees charged from a separate account and have them deposited into their own account. We've now built out all of the infrastructure to be able to support that. And we're about to start putting together the front end user experience to be able to support that. It means that we're going to be able to operate properly for businesses in those two sectors, as well as any other business that wants to be able to really do gross billing for whatever reason they may want to do gross billing. That's going to be about a month or two away in terms of it being live. In the meantime, we are definitely keen to hear from anybody who has any customers that want to use the platform that way. So we can sign you up as an alpha testing customer, and you guys can help us make sure that the functionality works how it's intended to work. Thank you, TK. Google Pay is coming a lot sooner than that. I forgot to write it. It should be 1 to 2 weeks, I think, but DK might disagree. So basically how that's going to work is how Google Pay is expected to work. When somebody clicks Pay Now on the invoices, they'll be able to choose from their Google Wallet. We're going to, put a little bit of time and effort into making sure it's working correctly. Initially, it'll be a merchant-initiated setting, so it won't be on by default. You'll have to go and switch it on. But yeah, it'll make it easier for people to pay your invoices from their stored method. It'll definitely enhance the ability for people to pay your invoices from their phone. And I do believe that we'll be able to tokenize Google Pay option as pre-approval option too. So again, if you're interested in being involved in early testing for Google Pay, let us know. All right, the last thing I want to discuss is just growing referrals. Obviously, we lead with the messaging around pre-approval and cash flow certainty and stuff like that. And when businesses have issues with chasing payment, when they feel that pain, obviously it's a great message. But there's plenty of companies out there who either don't necessarily have that issue. Their pays are all right, or they don't necessarily, they're not fully convinced that their customers would go for that pre-approval solution up front. Pinch is a pay now option on Xero. It is also a pay now option on MYOB and QuickBooks now with the dynamic link. And the Chrome extension obviously makes it even more able to be used as a regular payment processing method in all three of those accounting systems. So realistically, any business that's invoicing to receive payment can use Pinch. And as a referrer, I think it's important to know that, if you switch them over to Pinch from, say, Stripe or eWay or their existing payment gateway, just reach out and we'll be happy to price match or beat the price if needed. The experience that you'll be giving your customers is going to be improved from where they are, because our customer service is second to none. You only have to have a look at our Xero App Store reviews to know that, and you guys are mostly Pinch merchants yourselves, so you know that firsthand. So switching them over, there's really no reason not to. If the customer's not resonating with the main message, just switch them over for Pay Now. The system's designed to gradually grow the pre-approvals automatically anyway. There's a lot of automatic emails that go out throughout onboarding that show them the value of it and do the heavy lifting on convincing. So don't feel like you have to push them over. And if they're not interested in it from that perspective up front, that that there's really nothing to do there. It's still got value, and it'll still eventually get them to change their mentality gradually anyway. What we're going to do to make it even easier for you to refer is, starting next month, we're going to be doing another webinar, a monthly webinar for customers who are interested in Pinch, so a sales webinar. And we'll give you guys all the link to that to basically just share with people. So all you'll have to do is just send an email to all your customers or post it up on your social or whatever. And we'll just get them all in one webinar, and we'll go through Pinch together and show them the value of it, walk them through it, take a bit more of the heavy lifting away from you guys to have to kind of get them convinced. And then, obviously, if they sign up, they're still your referral. So when we do get that link out, make sure to share it with as many people as you can. I expect it will be a great way to get customers signed up to Pinch. If you are interested in having a one-on-one chat with me, scan that QR. It is the time of the quarter to have partner catch-ups. We got all of our partner payouts out this week. So if you have any questions about that, if you want to walk through your partner referrals that you've made to us so far and actually, dive deeper and get our feedback on where they could potentially see wins, because the data that we have from them does give us the ability to at a glance see things we can see that they have this overdue invoicing issue. Maybe they should be considering putting the payment plans on their invoices, stuff like that. Arm you with things you can go back to them with and actually do your jobs even better. So And that's pretty much it. That's the end of the presentation. Thanks very much for joining me this month. Like I said, scan that QR. I'll just sit here for a little while with that screen up to give you a chance to, if you haven't yet. Otherwise, take care. Feel free to shoot us a question. Email support@getpinch.com.au if you have anything else to add afterwards. Get sent automatically trade every time you register. Just automatically goes to you after it processes. So this whole recording will be emailed to you afterwards. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Bye.